Hi everybody, the Food Whisperer here. And if you are working on ways to make oni happen for your family and in your life, I have this quick, simple-ish, half in the oven, half on the stove meal prep for you today. And it is a meat stuffed zucchini. So I did a little bit ahead of time. I had scooped out my zucchini with an apple core. They baked in the oven for 12 minutes with a little bit of oil. I like to use spray oil normally, with a little bit of Herbamare, my favorite seasoning that no, I am not sponsored for yet, but one day, A Vogel, Herbamare, hello, you will really love me. Yeah, so I have the zucchini ready to go. What you would normally do is prep your zucchini first, and then you're going to end up with all the insides, which is where most of the fiber is in your zucchini, so you definitely want to be using it. And I chopped it up. And I also had some bell pepper that I diced up as well. I'm going to put my pan on medium, high-ish heat while we are talking right now. So Oni, if you don't know me, O-N-I, if you're just coming to learn more about me as a food whisperer and making healthy meals simple, easy, and accessible in 30 minutes or less, Oni for me is optimal nourishing intake. And it is something that I've been working on probably for the past 4 years since working with Dr. Dawn Molina of Tampa Bay Holistic Wellness. She is an amazing Oriental traditional Chinese medicine doctor, and she also has her master's in nutrition science. And I have known since I started natural foods, so we have to go back to 1988, 1989, that getting 30 to 40 grams of fiber in your daily eating intake is really optimal for your health, digestive health, heart health, gut health, just overall the way to go. And 4 years ago when I started working with Dr. Molina, she had said, I'm not going to be able to get you to that next level you want unless you start logging your food. Well, I'm an 80s girl, and I have danced around with eating disorders, and I always come to the conclusion that I like food way too much, that I want to enjoy my food. So again, it's a dance that I've always done, and I told her right now I can't. In my head, it's just not going to happen. And finally, I was motivated enough that I said, okay, I'm going to do this. And I used Chronometer, that is the app that she uses, and no endorsement there, not getting anything off from it. And so this way she was watching what I was doing, and the first thing I learned is that I was not eating enough calories, number one. Number two, I wasn't consuming enough protein. And number three, I wasn't consuming enough fiber. And once I committed to the protein fiber combination, my health just turned around, and hormonal effects, perimenopause, menopausal side effects went away, and yes, there's more involved, however. And so it's taken me 4 years to share this with you, because being postmenopausal now, weight kind of creeps back and forth, and you get lazy and you don't pay attention to things. And I learned again that once my pan is getting hot here, that's what I'm doing right now, is I'm feeling to see when I can feel the heat in my pan. When you focus on protein and fiber versus carbs, your nutrition changes, and it's about nourishing your body. So my pan is pretty hot. I'm actually going to lower just a little bit. Cooking tip. If you have when you have your stainless steel pans, which is what you really should be using, heat it for 5 minutes over medium heat in your pan. Nothing's going to stick. So I have my ground turkey today. I got it at one of the major healthy corporate stores that actually has 50% off when their meats and like anything perishable is within, I think, like 3 to 5 days. They mark it down half off. So that's what I have happening there. I'm going to put probably 2 teaspoons of coconut oil in my pan. Ooh, look how hot that is. I think I'm going to take this off my burner for a second, which is what you would want to do. Look at how smoky that is. I'm having flashbacks of when I was doing healthy meals in minutes and my pan got too hot. And my producer cringed thinking I was going to set the kitchen on fire. I am putting my turkey in the pan. And as you see, I was able to get this cooled down just enough to make it happen without having any fire happening. And I'm going to season this with a little bit of my Herbamare. You can find it on Amazon. You can't go on my page to get the link right now, my Food Whisperer page, because I'm redoing my website. Otherwise, you could do it that way. Make your life a lot easier. I'm putting in my chopped zucchini and bell pepper, and we're going to let this cook for a few minutes. I think I'm going to put, what shall I put? I'm going to put some basil, because I want it a little bit sweet. And I think I'm going to put some thyme. Ready? That's Adrian's favorite thing to do. Thyme is on my side. Yes, it is. Then put a little bit of thyme in here. Now, can you add rice if you want to have some carbs? If you're an athlete, if you know that you're training for something, sure, you can put rice in here. Can you put rice cauliflower in here? See, I always opt in for the rice cauliflower. When you mix rice cauliflower in with something, you don't get that cauliflower taste to it. If you're using raw rice cauliflower, I would add it now. If you're using frozen rice cauliflower, I highly recommend that you wait until the very end to add it. Otherwise, you get that fish stink out of cauliflower. That can happen. And if you've used cauliflower before, specifically frozen cauliflower, you know the stink that I'm talking about. Yes, so optimal nourishing intake, or optimal nourishment intake. I think I like optimal nourishing intake because it's what we're consuming, everything, whether it's food, whether it's a beverage, whether it's what we're looking at on social media, if we're watching the news, if we're listening to the radio, our environment, who we spend our time with. Do we always get to choose who we spend our time with? And that answer is absolutely not. I mean, if we're standing in line at a grocery store, if we're in a grocery store, I don't know about you, but for me, especially lately, no, I'd say probably 3 or 4 years, the music in grocery stores has gotten so loud, it's like we're in a club, and half the time I just want to be like, oh yeah, let's go. And then other times they're playing something really awful, and it takes every single ounce of me just to be able to hear myself think. Optimal nourishing intake. What can we do in a situation like that? Pray, meditate, focus on something other than what is annoying us. Find a way to make that happen. Exercise, body movement, that is part of optimal nourishing intake as well. In my head, I don't know about yours, but in my head that definitely is. And all the research that is out there is showing that we're supposed to have, 150 minutes of exercise a week for our heart health, for our brain health, for our mental health. And maybe it's a 30-minute walk, 20-minute walk after you eat at night. Now that we're getting into the summer months, you definitely have more time to be doing that. It is something that I've been focusing on doing, and maybe it's a stroll. Maybe it's not a power walk. And you know what? You're moving your body. And while you're moving your body, you're clearing your head and you're enhancing your mental health-ish kind of deal. Hey, check this out. While we've been chatting, I found a raw piece. Look, I found a raw piece. Why am I showing you this? Because, well, now it's almost cooked. Because you have to pay attention and make sure, especially if you're using turkey or chicken or chicken turkey sausage that is cooked all the way through. Can you use veggie meats? Absolutely, in which case you would be cooking your zucchini and your pepper and whatever other veggies in there first, and then adding your meat at the end because it's already cooked, so you're just warming it up. Do you want to use shrimp? You can use shrimp. Would you like to use fish? Sure, you can use fish. I would recommend baking the fish in the oven or roasting it in the oven first and then adding it at the end, like in a mixing bowl. And again, you probably only need 10 to 12 minutes to be cooking that fish off. And we're done. So what do we do next? We just stuff our zucchini. I'm going to be putting some goat cheese on top of this. It's another reason why I would be using just a spray oil is because, again, watching our fats, we get a lot of fats without even knowing it. And if you log your food, you're going to be noticing that as well. Goat cheese adds a little extra little to it, and then some people think goat cheese is disgusting. Either way, this is a great meal prep. This is something you can freeze very well. It's something that you can serve your family tonight. I hope you have a wonderful day. The Food Whisperer.